My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad.
Oh, I have your phone to
School chat.
a little bit. Let me see. WCB? CB got it for me? WCB. Chat. W Crib chat?
I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and I was given chemotherapy.
So this guy, unfortunately, crashes out and gets violent over some Chinese food sauce. Now, the guy's name is Glenn, and Glenn is 49, living in New York City, and Glenn really loves Chinese food, and he especially loves the duck sauce that comes with it. And duck sauce is that orangish yellow sauce in the packets, it looks like this. And so he loves that sauce. He'll do anything for it. He'll even hurt people if he doesn't get enough of it.
Whoa.
And so one night in 2021, he calls in a takeout order at a local Chinese restaurant called The Great Wall. And as part of his order, he wants the extra duck sauce packets. So the workers say, of course, and they make up his order and they throw the packets in the bag. And so later, Glenn gets there and he gets his food and he pays for it and he leaves. Then I guess he gets home and he opens the bag and he checks for the duck sauce packets. And of course, they're in there, but there aren't as many as he wanted. And Glenn, he's not the most stable guy, so he loses his mind. So he drives back to the restaurant, he busts in, and he starts yelling like, I asked for extra duck sauce! And keep in mind, he just left the place like 20 minutes ago, and he's already back. And so he starts yelling like, I asked for extra duck sauce! And the workers are like, we put it in the bag. And he's like, it's not enough! Then they offer to give him even more, but that still doesn't calm him down. And he's like yelling at all the workers that they screwed up his order, and he apparently starts yelling racist stuff at them. And if that isn't crazy enough, he starts demanding that he return the order and they give him a refund. However, this is all happening in 2021. So this is happening during the pandemic, and the restaurant won't take back food due to stricter COVID regulations. Plus, Glenn is just being irrational, and this pisses Glenn off even more. And he calls the police, and I assume he's like, they didn't give me enough duck sauce, and now they won't give me a refund. So now police gotta come and intervene, and they start asking questions, and the workers explain about, the pandemic rules and how they can't take orders back now, and Glenn gets even more upset, and he storms off and leaves. Now, normally that would be where the story ends, but Glenn is not a normal guy, and he's not gonna let this go. He can't. So he decides he's gonna get revenge on these employees. And so one day, he starts calling them at work, and he'll get the workers on the phone, and he'll threaten them, and he does this shit a lot. Sometimes he even calls 911 on the restaurant for no real reason. Now, one of the guys who works at the place, his name is Jan. And Jan, he's a delivery driver, and he's been working there for 20 years. And about a month later, after Glenn's initial dispute over the sauce, Jan is at work and he's getting deliveries ready or whatever, and he walks outside and boom, he sees Glenn. And Glenn is wearing a black mask, but Jan knows it's him. And he can see him using a knife to scratch up one of the workers' cars. And so obviously Jan and some workers, they go over there to confront him, and they're like, what are you doing, bro? Stop! And Glenn turns to them and he's like, I have a gun, be careful, this is the last time I'm gonna tell you. Then Glenn starts walking away to his car. And of course, Jan and the other workers, they follow him. And when they get to his vehicle, they confront him like, bro, what's your problem? And this escalates, and they start pushing and shoving him, and he pushes back, and some of the workers end up wrestling Glenn to the ground. Then one of them actually pulls down Glenn's mask so they can get a photo of his face, while the others take photos of his car and his license plate. Once they get that, they let him go, and he gets away. Now, here's where Glenn starts to get violent. By this point, all the workers at the restaurant, they know Glenn, they know who he is, he's the crazy duck sauce guy, and they know he's a problem. And they repeatedly call the police and report him. But I don't know why police don't do anything, I don't know if they can at this point, maybe they're still investigating, I don't know, but they don't do anything. But a few more weeks go by, and it's winter, so it's snow. And one night, one of the restaurant workers is out in front of the business shoveling snow, and suddenly, out of nowhere, boom, Glenn shows up, and he's holding a pistol. And he points it at the worker and he says, "How's your car? Remember me? I will unalive your entire family." And this worker, he of course freaks the hell out. He runs away and he runs back inside and he calls the police. Meanwhile, Glenn, he's still outside and he goes to the parking lot and he finds a car that belongs to one of the workers and he slashes the tires. Then he flees before police can get there. And so now the workers at this place, they're terrified. This crazy duck sauce guy, he could show up again at any moment. And so
Well, the guys are traveling with Lapislav, who just come from a game launch in the crew.
Brilliant.
Okay, thank you. Strange man. Anyway, then I booked a 10-way amazing lunch party.
$130. I swam there in the brand of Stony.
Then I booked a cozy hotel in Kingswood Bay.
That's all that I
Then onto the gorgeous beach house in my honor. No, I am sorry. I call it my honor because it is mine. Now please, can I let the fluffy beach? Anyway, I am so excited because now I'm going to the hotel and fought in Viva La Francho. Again, no man, I'm going there. Woohoo!
Lapislav always find the best getaways in SA, and apparently so does he.
a few months later, it's now 2022, and Glenn, he's ready to strike again. One night, he starts driving past the restaurant, just back and forth, creeping for like 2 hours. He drives by 7 times during this period, like a crazy ex-boyfriend or something. Now, Jan is actually working that night, and at some point, the restaurant gets a delivery order. And so they cook it up and they hand it off to Jan, and he gets on his scooter to drive and drop it off. Here's the thing though, Glenn is there in his car watching, and he sees him leave the restaurant and he starts following him. And so Jan drives for a while and he gets to the location